Well, we've come to the Wheatland Stocker Conference here in Enid today to catch up with Derrell Peel. Derrell, let's talk about the feeder cattle prices. What's happened in the market these last couple of weeks?
You know, the impact of the drought this summer has pushed feeder cattle prices down pretty dramatically. In many cases, they bottomed about a month ago in late July. And if you look at what's happened, they've come back this last month, particularly for the lightweight calves. The heavier weight feeder cattle have not increased very much in price. They're pretty much where they were, but the lightweight calves have gone up, which means that part of that price line, if you will, if you look at price by weight for feeder cattle, has gotten much steeper. And so those lightweight calves are very expensive. The heavyweights are staying down. And so it's changed the price structure there when you think about that from a stocker standpoint in particular in terms of buy versus sell prices.
All right, so looking at those prices, what does that mean for what guys are traditionally doing this year, or this time of year as they're starting to pull in animals?
Well, you know, we're thinking about planting wheat. We've gotten some rain. We have some prospects at least for wheat pasture. If that comes through, we're going to be looking to buy cattle in the next 60 days, let's say, depending on who you are. Traditionally, we like to buy, you know, we have a long tendency in Oklahoma to buy these lightweight calves, 4-weight kind of, animals, put a couple 250 pounds of gain on them in the winter grazing period. If you look at that price structure that's out there right now, there's a very sharp break in that price structure that happens between 550 and 600 pounds for steers. And so what happens is that there's actually, if you work out the incentives, if you work out the alternatives, there's a pretty strong incentive out there to buy a heavier weight animal. Instead of buying a 4-weight, you might want to buy a mid to high 5-weight or even a low 6-weight animal. Okay. And in this market structure, because of high corn prices, you can take those animals to bigger weights on the other end. So you're okay going to 850 pounds, maybe even to 900 pounds if you can get there. And there's very little discount on those big end animals. And so the best value of gain at the market today, and I think it will stay this way for the fall, will be on a bigger than traditional stocker animal.
All right, so definitely a good year to consider a new business plan. But as we head into the fall, what are we looking for? What are the triggers? What could change that scenario for us?
Well, it's all depending right now on that corn cost, and that translates into the cost of gain at the feedlot level. And that's really what drives the entire price structure for cattle all the way from about 550 pounds up through the fed cattle level. And so we're at a point right now where the cost of gain at the feedlots is very close to as much as the fed cattle price or the heavyweight feeder cattle price. They're all about the same level. And if the cost of gain goes up a little bit more, you could start to actually invert that market. By invert, I mean we could actually see the lighter weight or the middle weight feeder cattle, a 550 to 600 pound animal, actually get cheaper than the heavier weight feeder cattle, and you would actually be rolling up the price instead of rolling it down as you put weight on those animals. The point is, we don't know if that's going to happen, but we're very close to that point where that could happen. And so what it means is that producers really have to watch this market for the dynamics that are out there for the next few months. It could change pretty dramatically.
All right, good information and plenty to keep an eye on. Derrell Peel, our livestock marketing specialist.